This lesson is on classifying matter. The objective of this lesson is that by the end of the lesson you should be able to classify matter as an element, a compound, a heterogeneous mixture, or a homogeneous mixture. So scientists are always classifying things, and so how can matter be classified? Scientists classify matter by identifying its properties. Matter can be classified as a mixture or a pure substance. If it's classified as a mixture, it can be homogeneous or homogeneous or heterogeneous. Or if it's a pure substance, it can be either an element or a compound. Pure substances. So what is a pure substance? Well, it is a type of matter that has a fixed, uniform composition. They are made up of only one type of element or a compound, and they are chemically combined. So just recall that an element is a substance that cannot be broken down into a simpler substance. We find the elements on the periodic table. There are 92 naturally occurring ones, and then there are 20 plus that have been discovered or created by man. The atom is the smallest particle of the element. Compounds are just basically two or more elements that are combined to make up a compound, this is just another type of pure substance. Mixtures. Mixtures are basically a combination of two or more substances that are physically combined, and they don't exist in fixed proportions. They kind of are different throughout the whole entire mixture. A mixture can be separated physically, whereas compounds and elements cannot be separated physically. They have to go through a chemical reaction. So that's the main difference between a mixture and a pure substance. Two types of mixtures, homogeneous mixture, or sometimes people say homogeneous. Homo means same, so a homogeneous mixture has the same appearance throughout. Whereas in contrast, heterogeneous, and hetero means different, has a different combination throughout. You can see the main differences in a heterogeneous mixture. A good example of a heterogeneous mixture would be a hamburger, whereas in a homogeneous mixture would be milk. In a homogeneous mixture, we have a lot of different things. In this example of milk, we have fat, we have water, we have protein, we have vitamins, but you cannot see all those different parts because they're physically combined very well. Whereas in a heterogeneous mixture, the example is the hamburger. We have beef, lettuce, tomato, a bun, and you can see all the different parts. Okay, so here's a little diagram that kind of helps you to figure out whether or not you have a mixture or a pure substance and whether those can be broken down into homogeneous, heterogeneous, compound, or element. So the first thing that you need to ask yourself when you're given some matter, is it uniform throughout? If the answer is no, then you can stop right there because you know that you have a heterogeneous mixture. Most things in the universe are heterogeneous. For example, spaghetti, pizza, a lot of different types of food are heterogeneous because you can see all the different parts. Gravel, grass, flowers, soil, those are all heterogeneous. Now, if your matter is uniform throughout, that means that you cannot tell the different parts to it, then you have to go further. So, for example, is it uniform throughout? Yes. Is it homogeneous? Well, does it have a variable composition? That means, depending upon what you're looking at, does it have something different? For example, Kool-Aid. Does Kool-Aid have the exact same amount of sugar throughout? No, it doesn't. So that would mean it's a homogeneous mixture. Does it have a variable composition? No. Then you know it's going to be a pure substance, and it can be one of two types. If it's made up of only one type of element, then of course it's an element. But if it's made up of more than one type of element, then it's a compound. All right, well that's it for classifying matter. If you have any questions, please feel free to email or call me. Thanks.